A final word: be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Ephesians 6:10-12.
This eerie urban legend claims that if you gaze into a mirror, illuminated only by candlelight, you will be able to see the spirits that inhabit your home standing beside you. The legend leaves the consequences of this encounter ambiguous, but warns that witnessing the apparitions may intensify hauntings and nightmares. Mirrors have long been considered portals to the spirit world.
Never place a mirror in front of your bed because it will disrupt your sleep. Mirrors are portals to other realms.
If you have a bad dream, you don't want to look straight into the mirror because you can bring in a spirit that you saw in your dream. A lot of people use mirrors for divination. In a way, it's a portal.
Might mirrors be used by witches?
The short answer is yes. Mirrors are one of the favorite elements in the witchcraft world to open portals.
You can also use a mirror for divination as a scrying tool and for communicating with spirits.
Curses or spells are cast on mirrors in order to be used as portals to attack victims. Such portals allow the direct entry of evil spirits from the realm of darkness into the home of those affected.
Therefore, the portals must be closed with a prayer to break the spell, send the evil spirits back to the abyss, and close the portals in the name of Jesus.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Anna, and you're watching Anna Speaks Out. Thanks for being here.
Hello and thanks for being here. So today I have another significant, kind of interesting story about a spiritual experience that I've had in my past. This one is pretty recent, just a couple years ago when I was pregnant with my son, and I'm currently pregnant with my daughter. But the last two long form videos that I made were also on this same topic, so if that interests you, which I'm guessing it does since you clicked on this video, you're probably going to want to watch those at some point as well. Anyway, this story involves a mirror that is in my house, and I didn't think too much about that originally, just a little bit, but I recently had a conversation with somebody on Instagram about this story that I'm about to share, and talking a little bit more about it, it made me realize that there actually seems to be quite a significant connection between like witchcraft, paganism, dark spirits, and mirrors. And it was the first time that I had really put that together for myself. So let me show you the conversation that I had that sparked my excitement to make this video. So here she was responding to my story that I had shared in written form, and she said, "Girl, you have some experiences that make me go, what in the world is going on in that family? I think you said that your sister had memories of something. It mimics the memories of survivors of childhood abuse of some sort. I do believe that what you experienced was real and not just a dream, by the way. The verse that comes to mind is, Satan desires to sift you. Simon, Simon, behold, Satan demanded to have you, that he might sift you like wheat. It's part of Jesus' conversation with Peter, warning him about the challenges he will face. And that was Luke chapter 22, verse 31. I responded, my younger sister used to have night terrors a lot when she was a little kid. We lived in Hawaii at that time, and my parents also mentioned hearing evil laughter around 3 a.m., which is a common time for that type of thing if you didn't know. The mirror fell off of mine and my sister's bathroom wall the night that we moved in, I believe it was. We ended up having people from our church come in and anoint the place and pray over it. And then the light bulb started to click, and I said, there seems to be some type of connection with the demonic realm associated with mirrors. I have heard witches on the internet talking about using mirrors in order to see visions or something along those lines. And then I realized that it reminded me of mirror magic that I had seen in Disney movies in the past, such as Snow White and Beauty and the Beast.
Slave in the magic mirror, come from the farthest space. Through wind and darkness I summon thee. Speak. Let me see thy face.
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, is the fairest one of all.
Show me the girl.
Well, the master's really not so bad once you get to know him. Why don't you give him a chance?
I don't want to get to know him. I don't want to have anything to do with him.
So I don't think that these fairy tales that Disney remade were just completely made up out of thin air. I think that at least certain aspects of them were based on some sort of reality. But let me know what you think about that in the comments. All right, so here's the story. So it was about 2 years ago when I was pregnant with my son, and I had what seemed like a nightmare in which I was in my exact room that I actually had in real life, and everything was set up exactly the way that it was in real life. And I don't really remember seeing anything. I might have, but I just remember knowing that there was a demonic presence there in my room. And I felt the need to get up before I did anything else. And it was very difficult to get up off of my bed, as if there was some sort of heavy weight on top of me, weighing me down quite a bit. And come to think of it, that sort of reminds me of another experience that I had in 2015 when I had just come back to following Jesus and had been for several years dabbling in the New Age and witchcraft and all that. And at that point, I was trying to say thank you to my dad for praying for me. And I said, thank you for obeying God by praying for me. And I could barely even get those words out. It's like something was trying to close my mouth. And then I felt this force basically push me back onto the couch. And so I had some people lay hands on me and pray for me at that point, and it seemed to help. But anyway, back to the original story. I did manage to get up off of my bed despite all the pressure weighing me down. And for whatever reason, I felt the need to go stand in front of my mirror because I have a closet with mirrored doors. And so I got up and stood in front of the closet, and I was just like staggering over there. And then I said, I'm not afraid of you. I kind of like yelled it. I'm not afraid of you. And I command you to leave in the name of Jesus. And as far as I remember, that was it. And for some context, I actually had a neighbor at that time who was a self-proclaimed witch. And she had been in our home at least one time to help with making Thanksgiving dinner. Because we were actually very friendly with each other. I didn't know she was a witch right away. But either way, I'll be friendly with one as long as, nothing seems too off or too dangerous. And I would not have expected that she would have purposefully attacked me because she was so kind to me, but you never know. However, my hunch is that it could have been possible for demonic forces to work through her despite whether or not she wanted that to occur. There was also an item in my house that was owned by somebody else who lived there that had been previously owned by a certain musician who was a Satanist, and it had a pentagram on it with the upside down star. I had kept requesting that this item be discarded, but it was not. And as you can see, my most recent video before this one talked about how just having items like this in your home can open you up to spiritual attack. So it's my belief that these two things could have largely contributed to why I was attacked in my nightmare, and it seems as though the evil spirit could have come in through my mirror, and that is why I was compelled to go stand in front of it before casting them out. And I just wanted to make this known to everybody who watches this video because Jesus himself said, as recorded in Matthew chapter 10, verse 16, Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So I wanted to put this knowledge out there. If you found that interesting, please click the thumbs up, share it around, and consider subscribing. And I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are, so I can't wait to see you in the comments.